Welcome back to Soulful and Sober. I actually had a question and I'm going to answer it. So I think this would be kind of a fun podcast episode to do. So if you have questions, feel free. I can share my email too. But yeah, the worst fear for me is quitting. So she said, the worst fear for me is quitting is the thought of never having it again. Why? I want to be healthy and I'm sick of the cycle. I've quit before, then started again, thinking I'll have a drink on the weekend. Eventually it worked its way up to 3 to 4 days a week. What is the fear about quitting and never being able to drink? Any thoughts or guidance? This is a really, really great question. And I think a lot of us have been faced with why are we doing something if it's causing pain? There is a reason, there's more than likely one reason, but it's not even that you want the alcohol per se. It's what you believe that alcohol is doing for you. So if you think that alcohol is still helping you with something, is still giving you something, you're not going to want to quit it or you're going to be half in and half out. Now, when you think I can never drink again, your brain honestly looks at that as a loss. It's not grieving the alcohol itself, it's grieving anything you've attached to alcohol over the years. Keep in mind, we've been drinking for a long time, a lot of us. So this isn't something that just occurs in a year. This is multiple years. And yes, some people can go and something might happen to them where they develop more of an issue with drinking later in life. But a lot of us have had alcohol prior to the age of 21 and prior to the day or after 21 years old, multiple times. Now, alcohol is often linked to this is through messaging, whether it's TV, movies, messages on billboards, whatever it might be. These are messages. And we've also believe it's true because we've seen it. And, alcohol does have a numbing effect to it. So it can feel really good at first. Relaxation, relaxation after a long day, celebration, connection with friends, a reward, relief from stress, a version of yourself that feels carefree or fun. Man, I love to get let loose on Fridays. I looked forward to it, which was indicative of another thing that I looked forward to drinking. And it wasn't just the drinking. I looked forward to my friends too, but it was because I needed something else in my life that I would also be excited for. Also, stress. So I used to believe that I did not drink when I was stressed out. When I had a really, really very stressful day at work, the thing I thought about, and I wasn't drinking at this time, was I want to drink. Not because I needed it, but because I've drank over and over again when I was stressed. Your brain will learn what gets you there quicker. It's automatic. So it's a habitual loop, right? So keep in mind your brain has built strong associations between alcohol and all these experiences, good and bad. Not all, most of them feel good to us, which is why it's hard to think, well, who am I going to be without wine on girls' night? What am I going to do in the evening time? How am I going to deal with my kids? Right? You're not going to have that. And again, a lot of this isn't our fault. We're told these things and we believe them with 100% certainty. So when you imagine never drinking again, your nervous system can respond as if something important is being taken away. Basically, your safety net, potentially, depending on, what's going on. And that's why it feels scary. Even when another part of you wants to stop it, another part of you is like, who am I? And these other parts of us, this can feel very unsafe for many reasons. One is if you do drink each night to deal with stressors, what are you going to do? Your brain has associated alcohol with stress relief. So that's scary. Also, who am I within my friend circle if I'm the only one that doesn't drink? Who am I? Will my marriage be okay? Will my partner and I be okay? will I be fun anymore? Is things going to be boring? These are things that go through people's minds, not because they're terrible things, but because it's been conditioned into our society that we need alcohol to do everything. I had my son talk about drinking when he turns 21, not because he's drank, he's 11, but because he's associated it with what you do because he's seen adults do it over and over and over again. It looks freaking fun. Right? So he's assuming that this is really fun when you become of a legal age. He didn't learn that from me. He learned it from looking at adults around us. Well, I mean, I did drink when he was younger, but you know what I'm saying? I'm saying that I didn't directly tell him that. When you're 21, you get to do these things. I had a girl, I actually talked about this in my book, who said she couldn't wait to drink because she thought it was fun. And again, it's associated with a good time. So when you think about removing it, what's your good time going to be? How are you supposed to hang? These are very important things to actually talk about because it's scary to us. Part of us wants to quit it because part of us knows it's not serving us. But then there's other part that we're terrified to step into because we still think alcohol is giving us something. So it's sometimes looking at, is it really giving us what we want, but doing the deeper work? Because a lot of times you will spend a long, long time trying to figure this out and beating yourself up. And sometimes just talking this out and getting help will make the hugest difference. Believe me, I've done this for a long time with my own self. And then also now I coach people to help them because sometimes it's just hard to do this stuff by yourself, to be completely honest. I think I would have drank again if I didn't get some type of level of support. Also, I do want to point out humans really do resist feeling like a choice has been taken away. So if you feel like this is like you have to make this huge choice, like that doesn't feel good. If you think about something never again can make us want it more. That's why thinking about forever is very overwhelming to people. Um, so sometimes it's really you can't think in black and white terms, these all or nothing terms. It has to be some type of flexibility because perfectionism will be your worst enemy. This journey isn't about whether you're good or bad. It's about, okay, even if you drank again, did I learn something about myself? What's going on? What happened? Like the time I drank after 6 months, I felt pressured, I felt anxious, I was dysregulated, and I gave in, and then I told myself I was gonna moderate. Now, I did actually sort of moderate, I mean, a little, because I didn't go back to my normal drinking, but it was really hard, but it got me where I needed to go. So, if I would have said, "Well, I'm gonna go back to all the things I did before," number 1, I would have probably quit anyways because it was just a dumpster fire, waiting to happen, but I drank again for people that weren't really close to me. I felt pressure and I felt um like I had to do it. Like it was overwhelming. I didn't have support, but it taught me a lot about myself. And I think it's valuable information that even if you take breaks, that's really, really, really fantastic. A lot of people don't just go from, well, I woke up today and I'm never going to drink again. I'm sure somebody does that. But a lot of people, if you're listening to this, you might not be in that category. You're in the category of thinking about not drinking for a long time. You might have taken breaks. You might have done something, read something. You're obviously listening to a podcast, so you're doing something. But oftentimes it can sometimes be hard to do this by yourself. And it can feel like you're in these in between stages, and every stage is important. So, what I was getting at is anything that you're doing is something. We often think we have to be so far along, and there's a lot of information when we stop drinking. You will have parts of yourself that you didn't even know were there come to visit you. The insecure part, the people pleaser part, the fear. The other thing, too, with this, what if I fail? What if I fail? What if I fail? What if I sign up for this thing or go to stop? And what if I don't do it perfectly? What does that say about you? Does it mean you're not worthy? Does it mean you're bad? So I think we have to look at this in a different way is that sometimes it just gives us more information about what's really going on in the deeper levels. I cared so much what people thought about me. That was really hard for me in the beginning. But again, this isn't just something that showed up when I was drinking or when I tried to stop drinking. It was there throughout my whole life. You keep this in mind, like some of the things that pop up are not new things. They're just things that we didn't know were happening because we were drinking. So I just want to point that out. The other thing too, um, if alcohol wasn't in the equation, what would you gain? So we often think about what we're missing out on, but we have to start also thinking, is there something we could gain from this versus lose? And then what am I really afraid of losing? And is alcohol the only way to have that? Right? If your friendships, your relationships, all the things are built on alcohol, there will be some, number one, you're going to be uncomfortable. But number two, can you do these things without drinking? Now, I moved away and my life's a little bit different now. I still go on girls' trips. I do not drink. In the beginning, I would have struggled 100%, but I'm able to do that now. And I don't miss out. I don't feel like I'm missing out. Now, it took me time to get here. It didn't happen overnight. Um, but yeah, I think, yeah, I really want to point this out. Many people discover the fear of never drinking is actually much bigger than the reality because as you heal, regulate your nervous system, and build a life that you really love. And you still might love your life now, but genuinely doing different things and things that bring you such pleasure versus sitting on a Sunday hungover wanting to die a slow death, right? The questions will shift from what if I can never drink again to why would I want to go back? Because when you do the work, meaning you change the thoughts. Like I worked with one woman, um, she struggled with going to work events and what will people think of me? And we really broke that down because oftentimes the story you believe isn't the story that really is the reality, but it's working on these things to rewire your brain. You might have heard this. So now I think if I drink again, I'll never get what I want. First, before I was like, I can imagine going on vacation. I had a lot of FOMO. So I wanted to show you where I was and where I am now because I didn't just get here um, overnight. It took me time. I mean, clearly, I wouldn't have started a podcast when I first did all this. There's no way. But I learned a lot about myself in this journey. So if you are in a place where you're kind of in this in between, you can always book a call with me. I'm starting monthly group programs for support and help to learn a little bit about yourself because you do need to sometimes have somebody explain things to you. In addition, I have a book. You can absolutely read Soul-Led Sobriety. And there's like so many wonderful ways. I have my cat coming in. You probably can't see. So my cat just jumped on me. I usually close the door. But there's a lot of different ways to get support. And if you're not in a place where you're like, I want to quit drinking, and you're like, I'm not sure, that is okay. That is okay. Because I think the thing is that some people do need to try things. And another tool you could try is be mindful. So, what I did after I drank again and did not drink as much, I started feeling things differently because I didn't drink as much. I felt the depressant. I felt really, really bad because I didn't drink as much as I used to. And it really proved to me like, this is really not worth it. This is absolutely not worth it. I hope this has been helpful. Please feel free to ask me any questions. I think this was really fun. And, like I said, if you want to change your relationship with alcohol, let's book a call. It's like a gifted call where we can work on some things and kind of have a plan for you, regardless of wherever you go. It is, like I said, it's a gifted session. I would love to chat. All right, everybody, I hope you have a wonderful evening, day, wherever you are.